I've come to the realization it's like a lot of people will tend to shine once they stop distracting themselves, distracting in so many different ways, distracting their own feelings and their own thoughts with many different things. There's so many things you can go into now. But we tend to just distract ourselves a lot of the time because it's easier now than ever. And I'm not necessarily saying it's always a bad thing. Like sometimes it's okay just like, okay, whatever. But I think it's the overindulgence in it that we don't even realize we do. A lot of people, we can look at the screen time, for example, and it could be 4 hours, 5 hours, probably around there. Some people like to watch Netflix on their TV, some people like games. And it brings me back to the realization, it's like, I wouldn't say that's natural, per se, but it's like, how much does it affect us from our own internal emotion, like our own internal emotional state? Because back then it's like, what would they do? What would they do? Some people would have to cook, and it's like they can't have someone playing in the background. Or some people would have to be on, like they'd be in the bathroom and they don't got a phone. Shower in complete silence. Like just work, no music. It's like you would have to think what would go on through their head. And I genuinely think it can be anything and everything. Because I sometimes do the same too. If I'm not listening to music, I'll just be there working, or I'll just be doing what I'm doing, present. Sometimes I'll have thoughts, sometimes I have no thoughts. Sometimes I don't remember the thoughts. I'm just there with myself. And at the same time, it's like those moments where I'm there with myself, I can be the most full, in a sense, the most in tune, the most complete, in another way of saying it. And sometimes a feeling may be heavy on me, a feeling may be burdensome. It could also be a good feeling too. But it's just bringing awareness to all that we've pushed away, all that we've just shoved away and cast aside, trying to just not deal with it at the present time. But it's gonna, burst at one point. It's just a pot waiting, just boiling, and it's gonna burst. It's gonna overflow. And even with all these videos of just self-care and self-discovery and all that, it's like we listen, consume. It's like, when do we take the time to truly just internalize it? Do we just give ourselves like a minute, like, okay, what I learned, or okay, what do I think? And we just be like digesting, in a sense, food for thought. But when do we have time to digest for it? And I found myself doing that too. I'll listen to a lot of videos and things, but then guess what? Videos over videos and playing and listening, it's like I don't be completely understanding what I learned and listened to and heard. And I'm like, okay, sometimes I have to double take, triple take, quadruple take just to understand. That's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. I think that just shows us how much we have yet to learn and yet to know. And that it's not one time I'll understand it. Where we understand some things better and some things worse. Some things stick, some things don't. But, in that same sentence, it's like, once we're so caught up in distractions, once we're so caught up in even just things that aren't us. Sometimes I feel like we get so caught up in other people's business that we lose track of our own. We lose track of our own business, so caught up in who's doing this, who's doing what, who's where, who's what, who's why, whatever. And it's like, okay, what about me though? Not in a selfish way, but it's like, whoa. I still got my own worries, my own things, my own concerns, and my own feelings, and things going in my life. It's like, when will I pay attention to those? But I think it's also because of this distractions that we never take time to internalize it and really just think it over. And sometimes we do think, we overthink at times. And that's another problem in itself sometimes. Overthinking isn't I wouldn't say it's necessarily terribly wrong, but I think it's just incomplete. I think it's incomplete because at what point does the overthinking finally manifest? When does an action get taken into? You know, we can have all these problems and we can think of solutions for them, but what meaning does it have if we never put it into play? We have all sorts of tactics, tricks, strategies that never get tested. Never see, okay, is kicking, let's say, shooting the basketball this way better than shooting the basketball this way? Like, we'll think of, okay, let me try this, let me do this. We'll see all these videos, and it's like, what point is it of learning all this if you never put it into practice? You know, that's what I think at times. Some things aren't really, it's not always applicable to everything though. Some things are just, okay, it's a thought, let it pass. And that's how some things are. It's a thought, you let it pass. It's a thought, you let it pass. Oh, I feel this way about it though. Oh, okay, why do I feel that? And you start dissecting yourself slowly but surely. And I don't think we ever truly know ourselves in a sense. Because as we grow, as we experience, things change. I don't believe we're rigid in a sense. We can become more rigid, but at the same time, it's like some things change and we may not be completely aware of it. You know? And I wonder if at the same time that sense of, rigidness leads us to more problems in our life. Being inflexible, does it lead to more troubles than it does solutions? Because I'm just thinking of, okay, we have a way of, this is life, right? This is how we live life. This is how my parents live. This is how I was shown life. But if a problem or a situation in which society or life shows us that that way of living is wrong, what will we do? Will we change, or will we stay as we are? And by wrong, I mean like it's not beneficial. It harms us, if anything. Sometimes we change, sometimes we don't. And I guess we will never know unless, we take into account, okay, what ourselves, essentially. Because I can't make anyone do anything. I can't make anyone say anything. I can't make anyone decide anything. I can just offer a perspective and show them, this is what I think, and this is what I've experienced. This is my experience of this. And you feel how you feel about it. You think what you think about it. Not in an arrogant, not in that sort of way, but it's like, okay, I'm offering a piece of myself to you. And it's up to you whether you acknowledge it or you don't. And I don't know, I feel like I got sidetracked right there, but distractions in itself is like, because we immediately think of social media, games, all that. But then there's like alcohol, there's, drugs, there's things that can be more harmful, or things that are less harmful in some cases. A workaholic, there's so many different types of, I guess we can say, addictions that can be had. A workaholic, someone who's just so caught up in work, it's like they ignore everything else. And I feel like I can slip into that too, because I know I can really push myself, but I don't choose to, just because I know it's not healthy. At times I do when it's necessary, but I know when I hold back. And it's a balance of trying to figure out for yourself, what do I need at this current moment, you know? And at times it feels hard because it's like, okay, do I truly need it? Do I truly need this at this current moment? Is my mind just telling me this? Is my mind telling me that? Is it telling me that it's good right now, or is it telling me that it's not right now? So I believe at times it can be helpful to get someone's help on it, to get someone's perspective and idea on it. I think so. The moment when we stop running away, the moment when we stop, just stop. You know, we come to a halt, and then it just comes towards us, and we accept it. You know, there may be some feelings attached to it. We may feel overwhelmed. You may feel a plethora of emotions. I can't tell you what you're gonna feel. But I think the moment we just stop running and just let that just hit us, and we're okay after it, I think that's when we really start just to shine in our own unique way and in our own sense of being. You know, shine as a person, shine as an individual. And sure, you may say, okay, we're just some small dot on the beach, some small grain of sand on the beach, but it's like, okay, we're one unit that makes a whole. We're one piece of the puzzle. Because if all of us decide, okay, we're not worth it, then nothing means anything. In the sense that, you know, the reason that we all just shine makes everything work out, you know. Because if everyone just decided to give up, we'd all just kind of fall into some sort of, I don't want to say destruction, but some sort of chaos. You know, we all kind of help each other in some way, some form or fashion, letting ourselves express ourselves in whatever way we want to. I think that's what one part of living is. You know, to find something that defines us, how we define ourselves. And at times I feel like we constantly try and optimize everything, constantly try and make everything work, everything just, okay, I have no time to waste, okay, yeah, that's true. You know, we waste a lot of time, that's true. But at the same time, it's like, how do you feel when you're in that discomfort? You know, the moment you stop and just sit there, how do you feel? What does that make you feel like? And I think that's something to really think about. You know, so caught up in moving, it's like, what happens when we stay still? And I find myself doing that too. You know, I try and do so much throughout the day, or try and either I'll be doing something productive or I'm just distracted. Where is that middle time? Where is that time in that space in the middle of both of them where I'm productive and, you know, distracted, you know, just there? What does that feel like? And for me, it's very calming. At the same time, it can also be worrying. At the same time, it can also be exciting. And every time it happens, it's something new, something different. Because you never know what can happen. You never know if worries and things like that are gonna happen, gonna show up. That's perfectly fine. You don't know if you're just gonna get lost in thought. That's perfectly fine. But, you know, I feel as if the moment we just start embracing ourselves through thick and thin, you know, cliches and all that, is where we truly just show ourselves that, you know, we matter, we are important. And it's not even the physical things, it's just us experiencing life, showing that we are here. No, it doesn't necessarily have to matter to anyone else, but it matters to you that you are here. But I think I'm gonna just leave it off there. Like, I needed this, I'm not gonna lie. I definitely needed this. There's a lot on my mind, and it gives me a good place to just kind of let my mind roam. Let my mind just go where it wants to. I guess you could do the same. But I don't know. I feel like a lot of people wouldn't want to just turn the camera on and just talk and then post it on top of that. Like, you know. Because at times it's like, I don't know. I don't necessarily like hearing myself speak or just hearing the audio back, because it's like, I don't know. It's just something about it that I'm like not too fascinated about. Like, I don't know though. I don't know. But as to why, my answer, my guess is as good as yours, if I'm being honest. Something I still gotta figure out. But on that, I'm gonna just leave it off there. See ya.